Podcast will definitely contain strong language and sexual content. Please don't sue us because we cannot afford a good lawyer.
Good afternoon and good evening to whatever time you are listening to this. You are at the Bang Gangers podcast, a wonderful audio experience for you, a comedic audio experience. My name is Julie Kennedy and I'm here with my good friends.
I am Jelle.
And I'm Jose Lops.
And the three of us together make the Bang Gangers comedy talk show. I think I like having the talk show in there. I think it really says something about what we're trying to do here.
I think it's very long, right? Don't you think so?
Don't you not like Bang Gangers podcast comedy talk show?
Talk show
I
reminds
think it rolls
me.
off the tongue.
Talk show reminds me to these TV shows where people go there and they sit and they talk.
And they make funny jokes.
Oh, really? Is that a talk show?
They can do funny things.
Oh, I thought it was like these losers that go to the TV show.
Also, but they also make jokes.
Okay, so
Sounds very old to me.
Funny losers. Okay, yeah, we can.
Because we are three funny losers, and we're going to talk about, some problems that we have in our lives, and try to solve them with comedy and other fun stuff like music, right?
And just chat. Can we call it the Bangers podcast comedy chat? Sounds more like MSN.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that name.
Or IRC.
Actually, already people know what is the name, right? Because they can see it written there, right? So all our proposals.
No, but I like the addition of talk show. It's not. Oh.
Let's see if it makes it to the top.
Oh, just down the drain like my
anyone,
hopes and dreams.
Anyone who is still confused what this is about, just listen to a few episodes and then you won't need this whole big superfluous explanation that's going nowhere.
Do you think that wine counts as a portion of fruit? It's made from grapes, right?
Probably yes.
Yeah,
right?
It does? Because it has antioxidants?
Yes, right. It has all the good things of fruit plus alcohol, which is also good.
So it's just like a super fruit.
Fruit also has fiber, and I don't think wine has a lot of fiber.
No.
That's true.
But if you eat some fiber with the wine, then would that work?
Yeah, with bread. You eat wine with bread, like Jesus, right?
Like Jesus, yeah.
Yeah,
oh, what a clever guy.
But probably they knew, right?
Oh, they knew.
Ages ago, like 2,000 years ago, they knew that was the
God.
whole meal,
and
right?
now we're just finding out. Jesus.
Just the body of Christ and the blood of Christ.
Exactly.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
Okay.
Wow.
But then you also need vegetables still. So it's not, you cannot subsist only on Jesus, I think.
But you could survive only on butter and potatoes, right? I think butter and potatoes have all the nutrients you ever need.
That doesn't sound good at all.
I think that's true because butter has fat and potatoes have carbohydrates.
That sounds
I
like
think
I'm
that's just a
missing
myth that
you can survive with just candy. Candy, if you think about it, candy, they have everything that you need for life. Sugar and also sugar and also sugar.
I think it's just a
Yes.
myth promoted by Big Butter.
No, but
Yeah,
I
right.
do think no, because at least I know, in Irish history, for example, way back when they would have just eaten milk also, so milk and potatoes and butter, and then you would have all of the things you need.
That's
But they
probably
all
why-
died, right?
Exactly. That's probably
I'm
why they are
living
very
proof.
pale,
what
right?
What are you talking about? I'm beautiful skin complexion. I have. You don't look at me like
probably
that.
Well, you
previous
use a
generation.
special cream for that, right?
Like your face.
You have some medical treatment, I think.
Probably the previous
Yeah, just-
generations
just
were
some
malnourished,
anemia.
right? They probably were malnourished.
Not that much. Not that much. Only a little bit. A little bit's okay, right?
And there are a lot of people redheads, right? So maybe that's
What's-
probably just because of eating those type of
What's
things.
wrong with being a redhead?
Nothing. I'm just saying
That's
that
from
it's
drinking
probably a
wine.
condition that comes from
What do you
eating
mean
potatoes.
a condition? What do you mean?
I don't know.
What are you trying to say? Are you trying
Nothing.
to say something?
No. Yeah, I'm just saying that I don't think that potatoes and
You were
what was
trying
the
to
other
say
the other
something.
thing about
Milk, butter?
butter? With those two things, you can survive perfectly nourished. I don't think that's possible.
That's possible.
That if you take
I think it's
a
better
lot of that,
than
you're gonna be either very pale,
no.
or redhead, or malnourished,
Dead.
or dead.
Well,
Yeah,
I do. Well, come on. I think, with all the people who eat just McDonald's and Burger King and just processed food, I think eating milk, butter, and potatoes you would do a lot better on that diet than just eating candy all day, because candy has sugar and something else.
Okay, but this is one of those
Some E numbers.
those textbook fallacies, right? Of something else is actually worse, so this has to be pretty good.
I think it's called the loser bias or something like
Yes,
that,
the
right?
loser fallacy.
Yeah, right. When there is
You
no
mocking
comparison.
me?
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying like not the. No, I'm not calling you a loser. You're a winner, Julie. But this is like when people say like, "Oh, my grandpa died when he was 90 years old, and he was his entire life smoking and drinking." And this is the fallacy of the loser.
And doing heroin.
Exactly, because you're not thinking of all the rest of the people that
That's
died out
survivorship
of that.
bias.
That's true. But then you have one person to look up to. Like, wow, this guy, he made it the whole way, and he drank and smoked and did drugs. And
Despite it, right?
Despite it.
Not because of it. Despite.
I don't understand.
Well, probably that person didn't live longer because he was
But
smoking
he
and
lived
drinking.
to 90 years old. That's
Because
pretty old.
probably he had a really strong.
So he could have lived to 150, and he just
Maybe.
didn't know it.
Exactly.
But who wants to live to 150? Do you want to live to 150?
Who wants to live forever, Julie?
I don't want to live forever. I want to die when I'm like 90. That sounded good.
19?
90. You think
too
I'm
late, too
younger
low
than
to die.
19?
No,
Well, then
no.
I'm definitely winning, because
No, I thought it
apparently
was-
I have the skin of a teenager.
I thought that you were saying like I would rather be dead right now.
Oh, you thought I was suicide. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I guess
90
you could-
sounds good to me. Yeah.
Yeah, 90 sounds good. But Jelle, you want to live forever, probably, right? You want to download your
I
brain
would.
into a computer.
You want to do more Bama
live
courses
forever.
until you're 90? No,
Kind
do
of, yeah.
computations. And
I'm not
then-
sure. Either maybe dying now is the preferred option.
no.
We were talking about that earlier today,
Mm-hmm.
I think, right? Where maybe it's better to be dead than to be alive. I don't
Is
know.
it?
Kind of, right? There's a lot of just chores that you have to do during your life.
Oh my God.
But there is no comparison, right? Because when you're dead, there is nothing to. You cannot compare.
Well, there is
state.
life after death.
No, there's not such a thing, Johnny.
There is heaven
There's not such.
or hell.
I think we can have another episode about that.
In heaven, you do a lot of Bama courses.
That could be a
and in hell,
segment.
you do all your dishes.
the segment of heaven or hell.
Dum, dum, dum.
It's nice to also sing the jingles, and then I don't have to make jingles myself
Are you making
later.
fun of my jingles? I think I have very good jingles.
I think it's very good. And
I
then
do a
I don't
very
have
good
to do.
guitar solo. You don't have to ask me twice.
I don't have
Ask
to
me.
do any
Ask me.
editing
Solo.
later. So Jelle, you were saying, sorry, and that you would rather be dead. Is that what you?
Not well, maybe. I don't know.
What do you mean, maybe?
I don't know if that's better, right? It's just that we are alive because
Do we need
have
to have a
this.
serious conversation right now? Or?
No, we don't.
Okay.
It's just that that life tries to stay alive, right? That's why it keeps on going.
Yes,
That's
survival.
evolution.
It's
Yeah.
like
But if you really think about, is this?
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Well,
Nothing
Is
is
this
worth
whole
it, right?
is this whole consciousness is that really a good idea?
but nothing is worth it, right?
nothing is worth it? What do you mean?
Well, that there is no purpose.
There's
right?
no point to
No,
anything.
there's no
That's true.
purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all random,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah,
you can
and
have
that's fun.
You can have fun,
Yeah,
right?
like we're doing right now.
Exactly. In the chaos.
I'm having so much fun right now with you guys, my best friends.
So,
Oh,
guys, do you believe in heaven and hell?
I believe in heaven and hell.
You believe in
I don't necessarily. I believe in something.
what is that something?
I believe in something. I think there is something.
Can you describe that something?
I think I don't want to speculate, as to what that something is. But I also would not be surprised if when you die, there's nothing. But maybe you die and then something happens, or maybe you become the earth, right? And then you become the grass, and then you have some. And then
With no brain, right? No
some
conscious.
lion comes and eats. Oh no, lions don't eat grass, but the antelope or something else. A deer eats the grass, and then the lion eats and then we kill the lion and eat the lion, and then I'm a person again.
Also, you believe also in reincarnation?
A little bit, yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
but not
Yes.
really, right? It's like Jose just said. You are the grass, which has no relation except that it has the same atoms that were also in your body at this moment.
But don't you think it's kind of interesting? Like, because like where does it go? What happens?
Nothing. The same that before you were born, right? There was no consciousness for you, right?
Yeah, but it's got to go somewhere. It can't just disappear. Like
You weren't here before.
Where does the energy go, Jose?
Well,
it's energy.
what is-
Energy cannot just disappear.
Well, your body. If you
That's
mean
true,
your
that's
body,
physics.
if you mean your
Yes,
heat
that's
energy,
basic physics.
if you mean your heat energy, that dissipates in the air, right? If you mean your any other energy, I don't know which other energy has your body, but
I mean-
but your organic energy that's gonna dissolve basically and feeds the ground and
Yeah.
and that's what's
But
gonna
where
happen.
does my spirit go, Jose? That's the question. Where
there-
does my spirit go?
There is no spirit, Julie.
What are you
Well,
talking
I'm happy
about?
that we have Julie on the podcast, even though it's very stereotypical that she's the woman who does this role,
Oh Jesus! Are you gonna
who believes in
Women,
spirits
huh?
and
Women, huh?
those things.
screw you guys?
No, but I like that, right? If we would all agree on this, that there is nothing, which is clearly the case, then it would be a bit more boring.
Yeah.
I think there could be something. I think so. I think when I'm, doing yoga or something and I feel this inner peace, and I think that is something.
Do you think that they have McDonald's in heaven?
Yes. I think yes.
Then I would maybe like to.
Well, you're not getting into heaven.
Why not?
You're Spanish.
So this is like it's a nationalistic
Yes,
religion.
Of course.
Oh, I thought it was something else. It was
No.
Only
This
the
is-
Irish go to heaven.
You have to be very high caliber, high quality person to get in. And I'm sorry, but you guys do not make it. And
We'll be in
yeah.
hell.
the
where
woman.
all the fun is.
The woman, huh?
well, you piss the woman off, and then you get shit thrown back at you.
She become classist,
Go to hell.
nationalistic, and a lot of stuff.
But who's saying there's no McDonald's in hell, right? Or maybe a Burger King.
Oh yeah, there's a Burger King
makes
in
more
hell.
sense,
That makes a lot of
actually.
sense.
And
Nobody
Burger King
likes
has all the
Burger King.
vegan stuff. McDonald's doesn't have vegan stuff.
That's true,
That's
but I
true.
don't need to be vegan in heaven.
But it makes sense actually that hell is full of fast food, right? Because people are like, this
Are
is not
fat.
good for you.
But people don't have bodies anymore, right? So then I don't know what's the point of it. The point is to torture you because you cannot eat it.
But if you don't have a body, how can you be tortured?
You're a spirit, Jose. Why aren't you not getting this? You're spirits.
Doesn't make sense, this thing, right?
But you're still getting tortured.
You're getting because you're
But
watching
how?
You're watching
Psychologically.
psychologically. But
Psychological horror.
They
Yes.
tell you like there is no McDonald's here, and that's the torture. There
No,
is
the
no
tor-
more burgers for you.
Over and over, they're
guys.
repeating that to you. There is no McDonald's here. There
I
is
think
no
there's a-
fast food in hell.
there's a lot to benefit
only
from
broccoli in
from
hell.
religion and these things and believing in these things. I think.
Feeling of togetherness.
Let's not make fun of religion.
No.
I never like to
No,
do
I
that.
think I have many religious friends and listeners of the podcast.
Uh-huh.
And we respect all of them.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, I respect the people, but the word respect is
But not the ideas.
yeah. Do I have
Yeah,
to
and
respect everything that people
convictions.
believe in? I can respect the people that believe in something, but do I have to respect every idea? Like, for example, imagine that you are a Nazi, right? Do I have to respect your idea of being Nazi? I know that being Nazi is not the same, right? It's not the same
As
Comparing
being-
Nazi
right?
to
Being a Jew.
But my point is here: do we have to respect? I mean, I would tolerate beliefs, tolerate
tolerate
opinions.
is a better.
And
res-
respect the
res-
people
res-
who have them.
and
You would
respect the
respect a
people.
Nazi,
I
just
would-
not Nazism.
Exactly. If you're a Nazi, I respect you as a human being, but not your Nazism, right?
Okay, we got your point. It's very clear. We all agree with you. Now, next. If people could see how many good or bad things you've done, like say you were walking around with like a list of things, like these are all some nice things you've done in the past and some bad things you've done. How do you think people would change, or would they change how they act towards you?
Yes, I think that would change a lot of things.
So you think because what? Because you've done a lot of good things,
But
or you've
is it
done a lot
just
of
me
bad
or
things?
just all of society?
It's just you. No, I think it's all of society.
I think it should be. So
You
it's
can
like the
see-
Black Mirror
So you
episode.
can see, like, you have a list on your chest or somewhere that says, like, help the lady cross the street. Takes a shit through a mailbox. And some
So
other
you
things.
you are making these lists because it's quite subjective what's
I am-
good and what's bad,
I am
right?
the queen of the world in this scenario, and I make everybody's lists and manage everything because I am God.
Whoa.
A lot of power.
Yeah, definitely.
I have
And
some
we-
power issues.
And we know that Julie's into power. We said that already in previous episodes. I think that probably in that situation, everyone will have bad things in their list because we all have done bad things, for example, when we were kids.
Yes.
So I think it will
Well,
compensate.
let's give you a free pass until you're 12 years old. You can do all the bad things you want, and then after 12,
I think it should say on the list when you did the bad thing as well.
That's
okay.
important, yeah.
Then we'll have it in chronological, reverse descending chronological order.
But I don't think there would be. I would have nothing bad on my list, right?
What do you mean you would have nothing bad on
That's
there?
true. Jelle actually has been almost an
Yeah,
angel.
you've been
A
talking.
ninja,
An angel.
an angel.
I said, not a ninja.
heard
Well, I mean,
ninja.
Jelle is a ninja, but also he's an angel.
I don't think Jelle's a true angel.
No?
I think you both think that, right? You think I'm Jesus.
Well, no, not Jesus, but the closest to Jesus that I have in my mind, of course. Yeah, I think so.
In certain ways, yeah.
Yeah.
The haircut. Yes.
But also, you when we talk, because we guys talk about bad things that we did when we were kids, and Jelle was.
Yeah, that's true. Jelle has nothing. Yeah.
He never bullied anyone. He never mocked anyone. He never drowned any pet.
Yeah.
Did you drown a pet?
Not successfully.
But you tried.
No.
So you tried on purpose?
No,
Or-
only ants. I only killed them with the magnifying glass
Oh,
and the fire
yeah.
and some snails.
You killed snails with a magnifying glass?
No, I did not do that. I
Step-
collected
stepping on
snails.
them.
I collected them and put them all in a shoebox because I liked them so much. But then they did not survive.
And see them all crawling over each other.
Yes.
But then you forgot about them, and then
Of
2 weeks
course.
later
And
you
then
opened
they-
up the box.
Yes, and they were all
There were a
gone
bunch
and
of
all over my
dried out
room.
carcasses.
Yeah.
And yes, exactly. I did accidentally kill a bird once because we had an injured bird in our. My dad was taking care of it, and I left the door open, and we had a cat, of course, and so I was the one who let the cat in, and the cat.
You
killed
did
the
it on
bird.
purpose.
Well,
Oh my god.
no, I didn't. I did not do it on purpose.
You
No.
wanted some
it was all an
entertainment.
accident.
Okay.
Maybe it was
But it was a
subconsciously on
mercy
purpose.
killing.
Mercy killing.
The bird
was
was,
an injured
very,
bird,
very
couldn't
injured.
survive.
It was probably not going to get better. That's what I tell
Exactly.
myself.
So is mercy killing, is that a bad thing? Or
But-
is that a good thing? Or is it kind of neutral? Is it up in the air?
I'm for mercy killing. I think.
You would
yeah.
put that on the good side of the list, on the
ooh,
green.
Yeah.
Depends on the circumstances.
Yes, I would need a lot of context for that. To in my Queen of the World scenario, I need to have the whole jury explain all the situation and. thing to
But you're
me.
also all knowing, right? So you know what
That's true.
what the
So I know
actual
everything.
intention
Yeah.
of the person doing the killing is.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we know already by now that Julie wasn't that much of a good person, but Jelle, on the other hand, he's an angel because he never have done anything.
I have also killed a lot of snails.
Whoa, I didn't know that, Jelle.
See,
Yeah, but not
You
as a
see?
child. I did it last year.
last year.
What?
Yes.
What do you
on
want?
purpose?
For what reason?
Well, I try to grow vegetables in my garden, and there's a plague of snails here. So then I go out at night when the snails come out, and I
Oh.
cut them all in half or in more pieces, preferably, with those scissors.
Oh,
And I try to do it as quick and painlessly and just brutal as possible.
You're a monster. You're a monster.
Yeah, but now I've given up on that life because it was impossible. I didn't get any vegetables because there were too many. They still ate them when I was sleeping. Now I planted some flowers this year, and they also ate those.
Those motherfuckers.
we have seen your mother doing this. I remember your mother with scissors killing
that's
all
where I
the
got it.
snails. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that you learned that from her.
Yes. Yeah, so my parents taught me very much not to be cruel to animals.
But you
In-
kill them when they eat your vegetables.
Kind of, yeah.
You have
Eye
to
for an
protect your
eye.
food.
Of course.
But you
So
shouldn't, you
if a-
shouldn't pull
if a
out the legs of
horse-
spiders
If
or
a horse came and a
blow
horse
up
was,
frogs.
eating your grass.
What would you do with a horse?
Yeah.
You would also cut
Would
his
you gut
his
it?
head with
Would
the
you
with
slice
the
it from
scissors.
throat to end? and let his guts spill out, would you do that?
Would you?
There's one example. I don't think that's necessary. With a horse, you can just... First of all, I don't mind the horse eating my grass, then I don't have to mow it as much. And if a horse is eating my vegetables, I can just tell it, don't do that. Come over here. Here's grass. And then it will eat my grass again. And it's all
But then
dandy.
if it didn't do that, then you would kill it.
Why don't you do that with the snails as well?
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Why did you?
No,
Yeah.
there are
Come
too
here.
many snails. They don't listen like
here.
horses do.
Did you try?
yeah,
you didn't try.
You need some patience
If
with the snails.
There were 1,000 horses coming into the city here and just walking through the streets, shitting everywhere, eating everywhere. Then I would probably also be able to kill horses. If there was no better solution, like leading the horses out of the city into the pastures to run wild, then I would also be able to kill a horse, I think. Yes, and you can eat horses.
Yeah, but I don't want to. That's gross. That's icky.
Maybe
No,
in a
horse
burger.
meat.
In a burger, it might
That was
be
the
nice.
same
In a
in my
burger?
primary
Oh.
school. There were a lot of children.
Ew, and they ate horses?
No, who were
Oh.
also horrified by horses. But my
Yeah.
parents made me eat horse, or made me eat. We just had horse
Gross.
when I was 5, and so for me it was completely normal.
That's not normal.
I think we answered pretty well this question,
I
right?
think we did that.
Yeah.
Is there a purpose to a candle?
A purpose.
Yeah.
It's nice, right? For the atmosphere,
nice.
the ambience.
What kind of ambience does it bring?
Relaxation. Satanic also.
Satanic. It is
yeah.
also quite religious, right? You also light, or I used to always light a candle in mass for people.
It summons something, right?
It summons something inside. It's almost like, a spirit is inside of you.
No, not the spirits, because they don't exist. But I think when a room is dark and then you light a candle, I think that this light going
Is
up
it a
and
smelly
down.
candle or a non-smelly
It doesn't
candle?
matter actually.
Oh,
But it's
I
just
think
the
it
light.
matters.
The light going up and down a little bit, like
you like
flickering
that.
light
Oh, you
on
like
the
the
walls.
flickering light.
That's nice.
Oh, that's nice.
That feels nice.
But you can use candles as well to get the burning wax on your skin, right? Because people get a kick out of that as well sometimes.
Oh, that's
yes,
true.
I forgot about that. That's a good use too. Yeah.
I never try myself, but I don't think that's going to be a nice feeling.
Well, you get these special type of candles for that.
So it burns
there are-
less.
Yes, exactly. So you need the special type. Otherwise, it hurts. Yeah,
I see.
I have experience.
Well,
in
that's
this.
good because imagine that one day I want to try and I use a regular candle.
Yeah.
And I actually burn
then you
my
burn
skin.
your
Seen this
face.
in the
Then I
movies.
go back to the shop and I say like, "What the fuck is this?"
And then you
really,
explain.
yeah.
I was using this candle in the regular way it's supposed to be used, and
Dribbling
now
on
my
my
cock,
penis.
my
Yeah.
cock has a.
Look at this, and I to the cashier like, look at my cock.
Is this normal to you?
We are again going to the.
Yeah, you just did the sex joke just after Jelle said we're trying not to
It's-
make any sex
It's
jokes.
impossible,
I think
guys.
this was
Come
a good.
on,
It was a
no.
pretty
We're-
good scene.
We
We're-
have to admit, guys, that we are just piggy people. Piggy people.
No, I refuse.
Poop and sex
If-
and cocks
No,
with.
forget it.
Yeah,
no, we're not.
vaginas,
No,
and-
no,
We're better than
I
this.
don't want it. I don't
Assholes.
want this.
Rousseau.
No.
Okay,
Stop
okay.
it. If life was a game of Grand Theft Auto, which one of us would survive the longest? Well, obviously it's me because I'm all-knowing. But if you have some answers, you think you can.
Well, you are a woman, and most players of Grand Theft Auto are men, so they are gonna beat you up probably.
no,
Take
nobody's
your
going
money,
to beat
Take
me
your
up.
money. They are gonna. All the women in that game are prostitutes because it's a very male-centered audience
Okay.
game. So people will just take you as a prostitute, so they will beat you up. So you will be the first one in dying. I'm sorry.
That
Julie.
says, well, no, that's not true. No, why would they beat up and kill the prostitute? Why would they do that?
Because that's the fun of the game, right? It's
And
just
they're not going to beat up the other guys.
No, the prostitute I think is funnier. I think.
Why is that funny?
I don't know.
Well, you guys are all just, women haters.
Because it's more taboo, right? You can beat up another guy in real life without big repercussions. But if you beat up a woman in real life, then everyone is going to be
Is that
like,
how the world works?
Yes.
you're such a coward.
Oh, well, then which one of you two? You two are going to battle it out to
Of
survive
course,
the
Jose
longest.
would win there. Right?
Jose would
Because-
win?
Yeah, in the hood, I'm toast with my big, with my,
Yeah, that's right.
with
You
my
are an
big-
angel after all.
yeah, with my big list, right? People can see from a mile away, like, ooh, that's such a goody two shoes there.
Yeah.
You can take advantage of him. He has
That's
this long
true.
list of awesome things that he did.
No, I don't like this.
And
The
no bad
Jose just
things.
wins. But so what happens? So some
Easy.
guy just
Easy
comes up.
peasy.
I think Jelle could you know some
Some
know,
moves.
martial
I
arts.
did, I did martial arts for 10
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, exactly. You
10
could use
years
that.
of martial arts. You cannot beat some guy up.
Well, I have this,
You're too
this
much of a
code, where I
pacifist?
can.
Oh my god.
It's only for defense, but
Oh
not
my
Warrior's
God.
code, only for defense.
Really?
And if you only use it for defense, you're already too late.
Wow. All right then. Now it's time for another segment of love. Love, love, love. I love to do the jingles. It makes me feel warm and
it's probably the
and
same pitch. We don't know actually, but it could be actually that you just sang it in the same pitch.
what do you mean?
We will see once the
I
jingle.
think you mean I don't remember.
Last
Well,
time you did love,
It could
love,
be lower.
love, love.
It could be lower, high. We never know. But
no,
actually,
it was the same. I remember because that's why I sung it again.
And you have an
Wow.
absolute hearing.
Love, love, love.
now
You have
you went. Now
absolute
you went
hearing.
lower in pitch.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I do not know how to sing. So love, yes. Well, last night I was watching Love Is Blind, which is an old series, but I know you guys have also seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very simple reality dating show where these two sets of groups, 10 guys, 10 girls, they come to a holiday villa and then they meet each other in these pods. But the trick is, they don't get to see each other. And the test is to see if love is blind. So then they meet in these pods, right? And then eventually they have to propose if they want to propose. So they propose marriage.
But what is a pod?
A pod is like a room split into two so that there's like a piece of blue glass between them so that they can see like a shadow, but not the person. So they really cannot know at all
But
what they look like.
But they can talk to each other.
They can talk to each other and, all the usual stuff. So the idea of the show is like they're trying to remove, the Tinder physical
component.
exactly.
Although they are all very pretty.
They are all very pretty, but of course they are, different ages and whatever, and and maybe some different looks. So this is the whole idea of the show. They're trying to build the emotional connection, and then later see if that can translate to a physical connection.
So the opposite of my method, basically.
Yes. I think Jelle's method was to first have sex, then say hello to the person, see if
No, you say hello, then you have sex, then you become friends, then you get a dog.
So first has
Right.
to be pure physical attraction, right? So it's like, do I like you as an animal? I mean, would I fuck you? Right? That's the first question
Exactly,
that you have
First,
to answer.
Yeah.
And then later you go to, could I love you? Right? Could I be your friend
That
first?
could also be a good reality show, right? Like, so first everybody has sex and then they try to build but that's just how it
That sounds very,
that's
yeah,
pretty
very
normal.
Very normal, right? Like
Yeah, but that's a real reality TV. That's
Yeah,
modern reality
that's true.
TV.
real.
That
The
is
real
true.
TV.
Postmodern reality
and
TV.
then everybody ends up having a lot of drama and problems because people's things do not match up, right? And then the emotional side is lost.
I think they should just film also the sexual relationships and just in normal hours like
It's normalized
7
porn.
exactly 7 in the afternoon, 7 in the evening or whatever, depending on where you are in the world, and just watching that, like kids at home watching it while having dinner, and there are people having sex and they are filming it.
So you want kids to watch people having sex?
Well, maybe if kids watch it that way, like on TV in normal hours, maybe they could think, "Oh, this is quite normal. I'm gonna do this to Jessica that is in my class."
And also, this is
Christ.
well, if she likes it, right? But
If she likes it, no.
but this is
You are not saying that
two kids having sex. There is nothing weird about it,
you,
right?
you
Very
guys,
beautiful.
Oh my god!
I
Oh,
didn't know,
God.
because it did not specify any
no.
ages
I
here,
thought
right?
we were going
Exactly.
to try and keep the podcast a little more
This-
PG.
Never gonna happen, Julie.
Oh my god, these kids, no.
Okay, but one thing would be that it's just real normal sex, right? And not what all the 10, 12-year-olds find on the internet.
Which is
So in
what?
that sense,
Just regular sex, like people, sometimes there is even a kiss, right?
Okay. So
Sometimes.
anyway, the show. Yes.
Take charge, Julie. You're the host.
I wanted to switch the topic because it was
was getting out of hand.
Out of hand.
Yeah.
I think it's all about love.
Yeah.
Yes, it's all about love.
So what is your impression
Of
the
Love
show?
is Blind.
Of the show. Well, it is interesting, right? But it like fundamentally, it's completely like it cannot work out right because you need the physical side. So when you remove that and then you just talking to someone and you build up something, and then of course what happens is that they then see each other, right? And then some of them are just immediately they see each other and then they were like, yeah, no, he's not my usual type. And then it's like, well, yeah, okay. And then they try to, build some kind of thing and it doesn't work out, of course, because, she doesn't like him or he doesn't like her or whatever.
Yeah. But what about, for example, if they actually like each other already out of those conversations, but then when they get to see each other, actually both are very attractive and they actually like it, right?
Yes.
They like each other. So then there is no problem. So
So
the
then
whole
it's
problem is
perfect.
actually if they physically don't like each other, that's never going to work. It doesn't
Exactly.
matter the order, right? So, but if both are like almost models, they're going to see each other and it's like, yeah, of course, I would do you, right? Because there is no problem.
Yes.
It doesn't matter all you said before. It's just like, yeah, we can do this, right?
Then do you think it's like could be like then do you think it's a good way? That's what you're saying, right?
What
That
I'm
it's-
saying is that it doesn't matter the order. I think if there is
Well, I
physical
think
attraction, the other thing, of course, is going to determine whether it can go further or not. But the first step is going to work for sure.
But do you think like it would be maybe faster doing it the emotional way first? Because then at least you kind of have some idea like, okay, it's just someone that I could be friends and do stuff and something like that. And then, you bring in the physical part and then, well, to me, that's a little bit more simpler, right? Than the other way around.
But what if you are already in love with the person you're talking to for, I don't know, a week?
Yeah.
And then you're, this person is amazing.
Yeah.
And then you get
And
to
then
see
you
the person
them.
and you don't like,
That's true. Then
what do you do then?
then
huh?
you're really disappointed.
Then, then you say like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought that I loved you, but I actually don't love
But
you.
that's exactly what happens. So people get really attached, right? Because they spend a lot of time talking, without ever seeing each other, and then you have a picture in your head, and you try to match all this stuff to
And
the
the better
picture in
it
your
is,
head.
the better is the picture of the
Yeah,
person.
yeah, and then of course then they end up being disappointed. Yeah, that's true.
I think one other thing would be that they have just first they can only smell each other, right? So no talking to each other, but they have very small
yes.
pods, and they work out in those pods, and they can then.
But
can
they're all
smell
blind
the,
and they can touch each other. That's actually another
Oh, I
show
also
called Dating
that.
in the Dark.
I love the idea
Dating in
of
the
smelling
dark.
each other.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
thing is amazing. But that does it mean like smelling also your intimate parts as well, like dogs do, or just the whole body?
I was
You can
thinking
do
of the
whatever
whole
you
body,
want
but
with your
you can
date.
make it better and better. That's why we have these brainstorm sessions before we actually put it on air.
Okay.
But yeah, no, Dating in the Dark is another dating show where people do all the regular dating things, dinner, whatever, touching, but it's all done in the dark. And you have these
They have dinner in the dark.
But you can
dinner
touch
in the
everything,
dark.
right?
You can touch everything.
The whole
you
body,
can,
so to
yeah,
see,
yeah.
like,
So people are kissing
I'm
and
sorry,
people
I
are
have to touch
trying
your
to
body.
figure out.
And, are
And
they
then
filming it with infrared cameras?
Yes, exactly. So they film it all with infrared cameras, and then of course at the end they get to see each other, and they stand in the dark room again. And then first, like a light flashes on one person, and then you see the other person's reaction, like the guy nodding, like oh yeah, oh yeah, I'll take that. And then the light flashes on the guy, and the girl's like.
Barfing.
Yeah, because
But wait,
just a little
what
bit of-
was this? Where at the end they get to see each other? Just,
yes, at the end, so they have like 3 dates or something. They get to see each other, and then they decide if they like each other. And
but
then
all with the same person, or is there a lineup of
there's
different
also
people?
some
again?
other people. Yeah, so there's also
So
some
it's
other
not
people.
like a voting thing. Like you have 3 different dates, and then you get to see. Like you have to guess who was who in the dark. They don't do that.
No, it's just no, not like that. No, you're just trying to find like, oh, do I like this person or whatever, and then you know, and then I think you can actually choose to see, yeah, okay, maybe one or more, like 2 people.
But that's even more superficial, right? Because you are even touching the person, like, let's see the density of those
It's just you're
muscles.
taking in one of the senses, right? Just the looks.
Yeah. Well, you
But
take
it's the looks without the looks, right?
it's the looks as well, right? It's just you
But
cannot
it's
see
it's
the
not
looks.
it's not
not
the
really.
looks. It's touch. It's a different sense.
But it's the same, right? Because you're gonna
It's
see
not
like,
the
okay, this
same.
person is
Going to
clearly
feel-
fat.
No,
feel
because
the-
people
feel the
it
face.
happened a lot also in that show where like people were very physical and like kissing and whatever, and then they saw the person and then they were like, oh no, oh god, why does
Just
he
kissing
have
and whatever.
red hair?
So what
oh my
else?
god.
Kissing and whatever is what you're saying?
Yes, I said kissing and whatever.
Can you
What's-
touch
what's the
everything? Can you
whatever?
touch everything?
I think you can touch everything.
There was a lot of finger banging on the show as well.
Yeah, it was definitely no. But maybe they also did that.
Just
and
didn't film it because it was
cut
at
that
7
out.
o'clock.
Well, I like the idea of the show, but I definitely go with your idea, Jelle, of smelling instead of touching. I like that more. It's
Did
more
you-
animal.
Did you smell your date too, Jelle? You had a date, right?
Ooh, yes, I I had a date this week. Didn't really smell her.
No, you didn't smell her. She didn't smell good.
Also, no, I don't know that because
you
I did
didn't
not
because
smell
you didn't
her.
smell
No.
her.
didn't smell
so you
her,
didn't do
okay.
Jose's trick. Jose would have smelled her.
Yes.
Is that your trick?
Well, I
That's
don't
your
know.
move?
I don't know if it's a trick. But smell is important, I think. If I don't like the smell of a person, actually, I think there is some scientific evidence behind
Well,
it.
yeah, because it's pheromones, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you don't like the smell of a person, apparently that can be incompatible genetically speaking. So yeah, I think smell is important. So that's the first thing I do. I grab there from the hair and I smell the hair in front of them like really hard, and then I tell them like, okay, we can have the date or not. That's what I do.
And then depending on their reaction, you decide if you like them or not. So if they're like, oh yes,
Normally,
no,
it
this is
it
nice.
never went further than that.
Oh,
The date
okay.
normally, for some reason, ends in that moment. But yeah.
Funny. But yeah, like you didn't smell your date.
No. It's also part COVID, right? Where you
Of course, yes. Smelling is not allowed with
Smelling
with
is
COVID.
not allowed
no,
anymore, no.
No,
or you have to
no.
kind of keep distance. I feel like on a date you shouldn't really do that then anymore because I don't think a date can really work out that well if you cannot touch each other.
No, I think you have to make some exceptions there. Otherwise, all the poor single people.
It's also not very different from a job interview, right? Otherwise, if you cannot be next to the person, right? Like physically,
Yeah,
it
exactly.
feels like you are just like, I don't know, having a.
And it is a bit like a job interview, of course.
It is a bit, yeah.
Yeah, it felt like a job interview.
No, it did not feel like a job interview. But,
Okay.
yeah, but it is like Jose said last week. In love, that's the only thing where you're truly alone. So yes, I don't want to give away more details of.
You're gonna
oh,
keep
you-
that
of the
secret.
dating
You
now,
don't want to
yeah.
tell us.
At
That's
some
okay.
point, maybe you will get an update again
Maybe.
on
Ooh.
Jelle's love life.
Okay.
Next time, potentially. Wow. Amazing. Yeah, I think Jose, you had some story about sperm, wasn't it? You were
Whoa,
talking about
Jesus.
sperm today.
That was a bit harsh, right?
Harsh transition.
What?
Yeah, harsh transition.
Harsh
about
transit. What are you
sperm.
talking about? I thought it was very smooth.
Well, no, it's just we're talking about these dating things, and as you know, guys, well, I've been with my girlfriend for already a year, so I'm not
Oh,
dating
wow.
anymore. But
What did you do for your anniversary?
oh, we still didn't.
Something with sperm.
No, no, we still want to do something because, well, as you know, for the COVID rules, there is not much to do. But now we can actually do it. So I had
Nice.
some things planned.
Oh,
But let's see. But I just remember that from my previous status of a single person.
your previous status?
Status? Is that a thing? Status?
Your previous status
Status. Well, I just
in
remember
society?
in society. Yes, I just
When
remember
you were
a single person. Just,
Oh,
yeah.
that was your status?
That was my status. Single person.
Status or status?
A status,
know.
maybe. This is maybe
Bachelor.
status.
Status.
Bachelor Lopez.
Bachelor Lopez.
Bachelor Lopez. And Bachelor Lopez got up to some crazy things.
Well, not crazy things, but some, there are always funny or interesting topics, interesting moments. And I just remember that there was once that I had a match. I don't remember if it was Tinder or any other app. But I had this match with a person, right, with a girl. And after 5 minutes of conversation, and I have it here in my phone because I stored the message because I
Oh.
think it was pretty awesome as a message. After
Oh.
just 5 minutes of conversation, She told me, and I'm going to read right now. I think it is best to share something shocking with you now. I only fall in love with girls, but I'm looking for a guy to help me out. I'm actually looking for a sperm donor because I recently heard that I have an elevated risk to get ovarian cancer. If I want to get pregnant, I am in a bit of a hurry. I would totally understand if you are not interested, but if you would like, we could meet up sometimes and talk about it.
Wow, that's really cool.
And she said that already 5 minutes in, right? Normally I wait until the third or fourth date before
No, I think
would
you should say that right
say
off the
that.
bat, right? Like, hey, I'm looking for a sperm.
Exactly, that's what I
Sperm
mean. Yeah.
donor.
Yeah, but she didn't have that in their description, and that kind of pissed me off a
Yeah,
little bit.
I think that's a little bit of because she was kind of like hooking you in,
Yeah.
and then you're like, and then oh no, she just wants my sperm.
Yeah.
I did see profiles where they just asked that right out of the gates.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wow, I never
can
saw
imagine
that.
But it's
which
at
is
least
better, right?
I think, yeah, for sure, you should be super upfront with it, right? Like, this is
Yeah, I
what I'm
think
looking
so.
for.
Yeah, because then you, as well, because I guess with this kind of thing, like it's a very like serious thing. So I mean, you would rather cut through all the bullshit super fast, right? And just
Yeah.
I need my sperm. I need my baby Jeremiah.
Give me my sperm. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Jeremiah, singer songwriter. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, she saw in your profile.
she
Oh,
sounds-
he's a musician.
yeah.
I
He
guess
can be
so.
our daddy.
I guess that was the.
Did you consider it? Because she sounds very genuine, and you're like, maybe.
Well,
I wanna be a
to be
daddy.
honest, I thought it was a real problem, and it got me thinking for a bit. But at the same time, I was thinking, this is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Because the first thing that I told her, like, oh, but I mean, you don't know me at all. I could be a serial killer, right?
Yeah.
And the first thing that I told her is that
Is that a genetic property?
no, but I mean for her, not for the future baby, but for her, I could kill
Well,
her,
that's
right?
true of any person
true.
you meet on a dating app.
That's true. But
Or
anyway,
elsewhere in the world?
but I just asked her, like, why don't you ask,
A
your
sperm
friends
donor or your friends,
First
yeah.
was this thing, right? The sperm donor. No, sorry, the sperm
Or
bank.
a sperm bank, yes.
Exactly. And she said, like, well, I think there's a little bit of a gamble, and I don't trust in the system, and you always have to wait a lot. And the sperm donor could be anyone. And I was like, yeah, but I could also be anyone, right?
Yeah,
I could be a crazy person.
That's true, but at least she has some rapport with you or potential rapport.
Yeah, she could first meet with you.
Yeah, and to see that
Yeah.
I'm not
There's
actually a
possibility.
serial killer, right? And
Oh, but she
Yeah.
could see what you look like.
exactly.
And then
Feel
what
your
would happen?
muscles.
Would you get a donation or would you do the deed?
Where do you want
Yeah.
Where do you want a donation?
Yeah,
Right?
where do you
want it in a pot or because she's into girls, right? So maybe.
Yeah. But she said, I only fall in love with girls. So maybe
that's
she was
true.
up for a trio.
But can you imagine that sexual relation? How would that be? It's like, are you actually excited during that
think you-
intercourse, or
Yes,
you're
come
not?
on.
I mean, can
I
you
mean,
be?
you have to be pretty excited.
But it's more like a job. It's more like a job, right? Like, okay, I'm doing this,
Yeah, but
and
it's-
I'm not being paid for this.
Well, no, you
so
could
then it's not
relax,
like a
right?
job.
You could. I think you could you not relax in that situation? Is that a bit too?
I think you can have fun at your job.
That's
yeah.
true. I don't
Yeah.
know. I would be like, what the fuck is this? I don't think I can do that, honestly. And then
So you wouldn't want to have your sperm,
No, I mean
Taken-
maybe in a bank, maybe I would
Maybe in a
consider
bank?
it. Maybe, but that's different because it's like I don't know who's
The
going to be
person,
the
yeah.
right. But in this case, this city is not that big after all. So
You don't want a little
Don't see
baby
a
Jose
little
walking
I've
around.
actually seen this girl a couple of
Wondering.
times.
Oh,
in the-
really?
Yeah.
Did you talk to her?
No, of course not, because we don't know each other, right? But I've seen
Oh.
this girl, and imagine that I
Oh my
actually
God.
I said yes,
Yeah.
and then I see this
And then
little
and then
Jose
oh my
walking
God, little
there.
Jose,
yeah,
so cute. Oh,
yeah. So I don't. I think it's
yeah,
crazy.
that's too much. You're right. It is a small city. If it was like a big city and yet was far away, you would maybe not. Yeah, but it's too close.
But
Yeah.
still, you can always meet up that person randomly, even in the big city, right?
Yeah.
That
you,
can
you
happen.
could go to another continent, right? You could go to Nigeria, right? Donate there.
That's your mojo. I'm just like always traveling and just giving my sperm to people.
That's what a lot of guys do.
Yeah,
Anyway, right?
I think that's.
You just travel the world,
I think that's what
Fucking-
how evolution works, right?
spread out your seed,
I
man.
think would that work? Would that give you some sense of fulfillment. Like I'm doing my biological
Like
purpose. I'm fulfilling it.
transcending, right? Somehow
having-
in the form of kids somewhere in the world.
Yeah, I'm
right?
having as many children as possible, just like nature wanted me to.
Not for me. It doesn't work that way.
What was it? A doctor, or there was some scandal, right? With I think probably one of those doctors who do the artificial insemination stuff, but then he did it all with his own sperm.
What
I
a
think.
genius.
Oh yeah, I remember that story.
And they all
Yeah.
looked like him, and they all wanted to be doctors.
Wow.
Yes, they all spoke in one chorus, all at the same time.
Cool.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, what a creepy
No,
dude.
that's terrible.
Yeah, what a creepy dude. And it
Oh,
was a
I
Why
think
doctor,
does
that's
right?
why does
cool.
Julie looks really impressed now?
Oh, that's so imagine you have like 100 little U's. That is
big Genghis
very.
Khan.
I mean, of course, it's very unethical, but in a like 100 or 1,000 of of your children like all over. That's really. I
It's
think
all
that's
marching on a square,
Cool.
like saluting.
I want all that power.
At attention.
In which country
Beam.
did this happen? Because
I
that
think in the Netherlands.
really,
Yeah.
Yeah, or was it the UK or But I remember the story.
it was
Yeah.
like a normal country, like
a normal country.
first world country.
Yeah, normal. Yeah, as opposed to a
And not,
fucked up
not that
country.
Yes.
normal country.
not
Not a
the normal country. Do
free
we have
country.
a
Examples now.
An example?
No, I
Oh,
think
we
it's
don't have
better
an example.
to leave it to your
Oh.
imagination.
Oh, imagination. Well, I think that's enough of love, love.
I'm gonna take out those singing
No,
parts.
don't do it. All right, guys. Do we all have our good advice hats on? Do you guys are not wearing your hats? Your good advice hats that signify that now it's time to give some good advice.
We need a hat for that.
We need a hat because otherwise, how can we know that we are now giving good advice?
I like
People
it.
need to know what to do, so that
I left
they
mine at Gus's place the other day.
because you were giving him some good advice. Well, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be giving some good advice, and
That was fashion.
The fashion.
Yes. Now we have another message from Cheryl from Boston.
Oh, again, she
Cheryl,
wrote.
yeah,
she wrote
Cheryl,
again.
Cheryl really likes us.
Very active, eh?
Yeah.
Cheryl. Huh?
She's a good gal, huh?
Big fan of the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cheryl. She says, "My children are misbehaving. They curse, lie,
So
and
she
cheat."
has children,
Apparently.
but she was also dating this.
Yeah, she was dating a escort. Well, she was
Uh.
not dating. She was having multiple escorts.
So I guess both things are compatible. There is no problem with this. But yeah,
Well,
please.
she was a
She's a high-powered businesswoman who has it all.
Exactly.
Okay.
So she had maybe the kids at home and then the escorts on the road.
It's all fine. We don't judge her. Yeah.
No judgment here. This is a safe place, Cheryl.
Mm-hmm.
My children are misbehaving. They curse, lie, and cheat on their homework, just like their father. How can I explain to them that what they're doing is wrong while maintaining their trust in their father?
Well, it sounds already pretty bad, right? Because she says, just like his father, their father, would meaning that probably the relationship between these two parents is not that good, and it is visible for the kids that this
So you're saying
marriage
some
is
passive
broken
aggressiveness from Cheryl.
a little bit. Cheryl, there, you
Yeah.
should just
Cheryl?
check that, a
I
little
was
bit.
mostly tripped up by the cheating on their homework. What does that mean?
Not copying,
Yes,
Copying answers
copying.
from others.
I think Cheryl was not able to
Cursing,
describe that in a
lying.
very clear way. But yes, I think they are, in general, yes, they're cursing.
And she's implying that her husband or whatever
Oh.
is a cheater
Oh.
as well.
That could be, yes.
And
yes.
could you repeat the last part of the question then? Like
How can I explain to my children that what they're doing is wrong while maintaining the children's trust in the father?
Maybe you shouldn't mention the father at all, right? Like, it's not that you have to use an example or something like,
but so
don't
you-
do
so
like your father is doing, right? That's pretty bad, Cheryl. Like, what a bitch,
Just-
Cheryl.
But you think, but so then you think the father is
Safe
not in the
place.
picture?
I think it's completely independent, right? So what is the connection between she's putting this in the picture. She's saying that they are behaving like this because of the father.
Yes, but
does-
maybe it is because of the father.
But it doesn't matter. You don't have to use the father as an example. You just have to teach them to behave
no, but
independently
it's
on
pretty
the father.
clear. The father is cheating and lying and
On his homework.
cursing on his homework, on his work reports for work because he goes out there into the world and he works for his family and he's cheating. And she's just like, yeah, clearly the kids have this example and this is what the kids are looking up to, right? Don't you think the kids take after the father?
Maybe,
Okay, so-
or maybe it's her also a bad example. We don't know that, right? She's saying
Cheryl,
that.
But the implication is that she has to bring up the father in a way when she says, like, you should not curse, like your father is doing. He's doing the bad thing.
Yes, exactly. This is, I think, what she's getting at.
Yeah. Or more
Don't be like your
realistically,
father.
when she says, like, don't curse, that's not okay, kids. And then the children go like, but dad's also doing it.
Then you say, but he's an adult and he can do it. Yeah, maybe that's the solution.
That's the
Saying,
way
like,
he's
yeah,
an
like
adult.
kids,
He can do it.
You could say, explain to them, you as kids. I mean, I love you kids. My sons, let's say, they are two boys. Okay, I love you both, my sons. But you have to understand, you in society. I mean, your value in society. It is very, very little. So you don't matter at all. But
This is how you're going to talk to your
exactly,
kids.
that's my technique. And you can say your father, on the other hand, he can do bad stuff because he's an adult. He has value in society.
Okay.
But you as kids, you are little pieces of shit. So
when your father beats you, he's he deserves that right because you are little shits and your father has a very stressful job trying to bring home bacon for this family so we can eat.
No, not bacon. No, we're a vegan podcast.
Bacon.
But
So father brings home bacon and the kids get shit on basically.
I think, Cheryl, that this is all going to sort itself out. Cheryl did not specify how old her children are.
No.
But by the time they reach puberty, they were going to try and be different from what their parents do because whatever their parents do is not cool.
That is
So then
true.
they will be the most polite children.
Children
ever.
do like to rebel. That's right. So maybe this all just works out for itself and we don't have to do anything. Well, that
And
was
it's
really good
even
advice.
better that her husband is cursing and lying and cheating on his homework.
Yeah. So then the kids can run away as far as possible and not have any traumas at all from such a turbulent childhood. I think that's
Perfect.
great. That's great.
Yeah.
It's just like a regular.
But if you want to have some more acute results, just immediately, I think what Jose said in general, you can say children and adults are different, and it's just what holds for adults doesn't hold for you. So there are some rules for you. You cannot drink, you cannot do drugs, you cannot curse or lie or cheat in your homework.
exactly.
Whereas
But it's
for
hard,
adults, that's
right,
normal.
to explain that stuff to kids. Like if you also had to, for example, if you had some kids and you're getting a divorce, how would you explain that to the kids?
Yeah.
How would you have that conversation?
You can say you don't understand because you're not a person yet. But we people, we
You're
can
a
do
half person.
things exactly. You're half a person.
Yes, and don't talk
You're
back
not-
to me or
you're
I'm
not
getting an
very- You're
abortion.
not very tall.
A retro abortion.
And we call
yeah.
the abortion ghost again to
Exactly. I think that's the way. Like us, we have some power, and you will never understand. Well, you will understand eventually, but you are still a little
You're a
piece,
little
piece of
shit.
shit. So just get over it. That's how you do
I
it.
think
Yeah.
the
Good
divorce-
parenting. Good parenting.
yeah, this is good advice for kids. They need to know that they're little shits so that they don't, grow up and think they can actually make it in life. We want them to grow up sad. Otherwise society doesn't progress.
Exactly like we were at their age. If we were struggling and being sad people, I don't want anything, I don't want them to think that they are better than me.
No, because we are the best.
Exactly.
Uh,
This is your place. And
Yes.
you have to know that this is your place. You start
Right.
from the shit.
you wade through the shit, or you are the shit.
You're also the shit, but you're surrounded by shit. So you have to be aware of it.
So the kids are shit within a lot of shit, and then eventually they turn
Into people.
into people.
Poop, poopity, poop, poop, poop.
Oh, that was a beautiful imagery. I just wow, yeah.
It's all the sludge.
Well, I do also have a problem sometimes because right now I'm trying to learn Dutch, and then I'm too shy to speak to people, to random people, and I don't know how to.
How to overcome that.
Yes.
Try to shout. And instead of talking, just try to shout to people.
I don't think that's going to work because I'm a nice person.
But they will see some power. They're like, whoa, what a confidence.
So I should just go for the power role, like.
I think so.
And even if I'm saying everything wrong, I just, and then they don't understand me, and then I just speak louder.
Very, very polite things, but shouting all the time. I think that could work.
Please
But what's
pass the salt.
Because, Julie, you know what you want, right? You want to talk to them in Dutch.
Yes.
So
But I'm
why
scared.
are you physically incapable? Like I'm sometimes that there's just no sounds coming from your throat.
I'm just very
Not that.
shy.
So then you just have to accept, like, okay, I'm going to feel a bit uncomfortable in a moment.
But I don't want to feel uncomfortable. I want to feel
Yeah.
comfortable all the time.
You cannot have everything, Julie.
No, I want to feel comfortable all the time. And I think I can do that.
That's not possible.
I cannot do that?
No.
Well, then I'll just give up learning Dutch.
Well, life is about that, right? Life is about just pushing your boundaries.
Oh, is that what life is
It's
about?
about that.
Oh, I
Get out
didn't
of your
know.
comfort zone. You know these videos that people
I think
have
that's
on,
important.
Oh,
Yeah.
on
really?
YouTube, right? And these people, get out of your comfort zone because
Oh,
if
that's
you
what-
get out of your comfort zone, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be amazing.
I didn't know you had all the answers to life. Can you tell me some more answers? Are you Jesus?
Well,
Is Jesus the answer to
no,
life?
I think we all know that Jelle is Jesus. and
Jelle
I'm
is Jesus?
Yes.
Well,
Jelle
Jelle
is
doesn't even
I don't
have the
think so,
answer to
but that's
life.
I think that's the same thing.
Jelle
Like in Life
doesn't
of
know what he-
Brian, like don't be my followers. Just think for yourself, everybody.
Jelle
So then
doesn't have
still
the answer to
you will all
life. Jelle
follow me.
doesn't even know what to do with his life after he's finished his BAMA course.
Yeah, what are you going to do in life now, Jelle?
Yes, that's my agony of this week, where I spent the last 2 months basically burning the midnight oil, solving binary analysis challenges.
Ooh, fun.
And
So much
now I'm
fun.
thinking,
Sounds so
like,
exciting.
what's the next thing that I'm going to do? I don't really remember what my life was like before. And my plan was to play a lot of video games.
Doesn't sound like a good plan to me.
No,
But-
that was today. Roelof told me to get Company of Heroes 2, which it turns out I already had.
Which is a game, I assume.
Wow.
It's a World War II themed strategy game.
And you already had it. So now even people, when they give you suggestions for games, you already have those games. So there are now no more games for you to get because you already
Yeah,
have
there's
them
a lot
all.
of different games. I have a wish list with 200 items on them of games that I still want to buy at some point when there's a
200?
massive sale.
200 games that you want to have?
Yes.
Wow. That's more games that you can play in your life, right?
Yeah, that's the problem. But that's also why I'm not buying them, because I already have more games than I will probably ever play in my life.
But you wish them.
Yes, I
You
still have a
wish
wish
them.
list.
You
wish
wish
them.
you wish to have them.
Yes, sometimes I like to scroll through them and see, oh, that's a nice game. I would like to
wish
play that
game.
maybe someday.
I wish coffee. I wish.
Oh, the Irish is mocking.
Life.
It's mocking the Spaniards
Oh.
for the grammar mistakes. The good old jokes.
All right then. And Joelle also said, no, don't do this, Roelof, because Joelle massively disapproved of me starting to play video games.
Yeah.
And I
Yes,
did not
because she-
understand that, because
Well,
Joelle
because
plays
she doesn't-
Rocksmith.
That's true, but she justifies that with that, she's learning a musical instrument. So it's a little bit more, like she's learning something. Whereas I can, well, I mean, I don't fully agree, right? Because I mean, I think a game is also kind of like reading a book, but basically it's a whole waste of time, right? I mean,
Basically.
I think that's the
Like reading a
the
book.
take-home message. You're a teenage boy playing a game. Like, nah, come on, just grow up and get yourself some real hobbies.
Whoa, that was a little bit harsh, but I kind of agree actually on that. So I think actually, gaming or any other activity can be nice in the sense of when you take them as entertainment, right? So you can entertain yourself for maybe half an hour a day, like you do by watching whatever crap on
Yeah.
TV is the same, right? But I think, for example, reading a book can be also the same when you are just reading crap. I think it's exactly the same. So just reading by itself is not something like, whoa, it's reading. Now you can read
I
a
think
really
reading
piece
is
of
really,
shit.
No.
Oh,
Reading
yeah,
is
yeah.
always intellectual.
That's
It
not at
doesn't
all.
matter. It doesn't
No.
matter what it is. But if I'm reading something, I think it is intellectual.
A lot of books
I can be
are
reading
really
children's.
retarded.
No. If I read a book, I feel like, wow, I'm really doing something with my life. Instead of if I watch TV or play a game.
Okay,
And it doesn't matter
in the
what that
Netherlands
book
we
is.
have doktersromannetjes. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
No.
Doctor novellas, right? It translates very directly. And
Mm-hmm.
I've never read it, but I think the concept is always, well, there's a doctor in it. And then it's kind of romancy, right? Where there's a woman who really fancies the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I think, always the same story,
Women always
probably,
fancy
and
doctors.
very poor writing.
Mm.
Yeah, and women
So it's like
always
a soap
fancy
opera
doctors.
book.
Kind of, yeah, that's it.
Well, that's fun. I like that.
I don't
But
like it.
would you feel like you're doing something intellectually?
Well, I feel like it's at least one step up from watching, like a soap opera on TV, right? At least I'm using my eyes to,
process
to
letters?
process letters.
Yeah, it's
I
more
feel like I'm
brain
doing
activity.
more-
I mean, it's more challenging,
more-
right?
Yes, exactly.
More challenging, yeah.
Yeah,
That's true. I mean, it requires more attention than just watching some
right.
stupid crap
so
on
then,
TV.
I think if we can rank these things, I think that yes, reading comes out on top.
Okay, but sometimes I think that even if it's more challenging in the sense of like it needs more brain activity, whatever comes out of that, it can be also a big piece of shit. So I think there are a lot of books like those, for example, that they are not gonna give you any insight about life or anything. You're not gonna learn anything at all, and just using your neurons into something that is irrelevant, I think.
Well,
With pure
everything is
relaxation.
irrelevant, Jose.
Well, I don't know about that. But so I understand that the gaming stuff in that sense. Like, I mean, it's just entertainment. And sometimes actually video games can be, they can teach you things, right? I don't know what, but
How to shoot a gun.
How to shoot zombies?
yeah,
Yeah.
you can learn a
Or
bit of
empathy.
history.
Empathy.
Really?
They cannot teach you empathy.
Of course.
How?
Just like in books, right? Where you...
No.
Yeah.
In books, it's totally different.
No.
Books, you have to process letters. And then you get empathy.
I think
a video
in-
game, you shoot you press a button and you kill a guy.
Not
and then you don't
always.
feel any empathy.
But the question I think here is that, like with reading or watching TV or playing video games, like, why do you play for? What's the purpose?
Why do you play for?
We
You
know
mean
we
what?
know what Jose means.
Maybe you play to improve your...
What for? Yeah, exactly.
What for? Yes, okay.
What for?
What for?
So what for?
For fun.
Wait.
For relaxation.
Exactly. So if it's reading, for example, something
Yeah.
very stupid, it's just for relaxation,
Yes.
right? So what do you play for?
I think for me, in large part, if I'm being honest, is because I really liked it as a child, and I couldn't because my parents were kind of
Nazis.
strict. Yes, they were a bit of
Oh.
Nazis about games, especially my mom, who was in charge.
And she was also German, right?
Yes.
That explains it all.
Which I think is good, right? You maybe shouldn't let your children play too many
be
video
Nazi.
games.
Okay.
But now I think I have to catch up on that, and I catch myself playing a video game where it feels like a chore almost. That I want to finish this game. It is actually not that fun. It's just stupid. It's the same thing over and over.
So now you're
I'm not
doing
invested.
it just to
Catching up.
catch up on lost time, not playing video games to spite your mother for not letting you play video games.
You probably
when
did
you
it
were a
already,
kid.
right? You
Kind-
probably did it
Kind
already,
of from
right?
the sense where I still feel that I should be enjoying this, but then I'm not really.
But you're not
It's
enjoying it, but you're
weird.
still doing it.
It does sound
That
pretty
sounds-
crazy.
Some
That
of
sounds
them,
really
yeah.
crazy.
But then
What's going on?
I get bored at some point, and then I
need help.
I stop.
I think you need help.
Yeah,
Well, that's-
our help.
That's why
Our
I'm calling
help.
you here. So what should I do with my life?
I
Not
think
video games.
I think you should not do what you're doing. I think you should do something else.
I
yeah,
think
of course. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Give
I
think it's-
suggestions. Come on.
I think it's not very fulfilling, and I think that's the whole point of it.
Do
I
something
think
with people. Do something social, or do something creative.
something that brings you some sort of joy, right? Because
do
I
you-
think that's the whole problem with playing video games. Like, I think the idea might be nicer at the beginning when you play for an hour and you stop the game, or let's say 3 hours, and you finish, and then you switch off the TV, the computer, whatever. Then you don't have that feeling of like, that was nice. It's actually most of the times is the opposite. It's like,
Yeah.
what
Oh,
a
that
waste,
was a waste
of
Yeah,
time.
that's totally true.
So that's the whole
But as a
point
child,
here.
you didn't have that, right? Did you do
No,
that
no.
as a child?
When I was a child, I was like amazed. I wanted
I
more.
can't wait, to get back to this.
But
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
it's different, right? So
Yeah.
that's the whole thing that you have to basically, I think, use your energy for. So only things that when you finish doing them, you actually have the feeling of like, that was nice.
yeah.
But then I quite, okay. But I quite often have that feeling of, oof, I don't know if this was worth the time that I put into it.
Like
or-
what, for example?
Even playing the piano.
So then you don't like playing piano? That's
No, I
pretty
do
clear.
like it, but then and I also think it's worth gaining that skill. But then after I play piano for an hour, I feel like I didn't put that much time into learning this new piece that I'm practicing on, or maybe there could be some more efficient way because I don't feel like I'm progressing that fast. So then, if you keep having that voice in your mind of I should be doing this is a waste of time, right? Because
who is
I
that
could
voice,
do this
Jelle?
more.
What?
It's not Jimmy, okay?
It's not Jimmy.
Is it as your mother?
Yeah, is that your mother's voice? Like, you could have done better, Jelle.
How does it sound? Does it sound like a little bit of a German accent? That voice?
No, if it's anybody, it would be my it would be my Dutch grandmother then.
Oh,
Okay.
it was your Dutch grandmother.
Well, I like the idea of playing the piano, right? I think that's great, but maybe the focus or the approach is not the best
Wrong.
one. What?
It's
What is it?
wrong.
Wrong, but maybe it's because you are focused on just mastering a piece that is actually what is going to bring you after it.
You should
So,
focus on play, on having fun,
maybe
and
just enjoying.
improvising and enjoying it.
improvising or
Well, I do that. I also do that.
or
I
writing
started
your
And
that
do you
own,
now.
feel
writing your
better
own
after
song,
that?
right?
How do you feel after you like play or improvise or do something like that on the piano?
Empty.
Oh wow!
Jesus.
Whoa. Okay, I think these problems are a little bit deep seated. Maybe they can be solved with a fortune cookie.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Because you have a fortune cookie with you.
Yes.
Yes. First, let's have a look at the fortune cookie. It's a cookie we got today at Café Cult. Just go there and support local businesses.
Yes.
Yes.
They have amazing cakes. Best in Groningen. It says Glückskekse at the top here. So it's a German fortune cookie.
Oh, so it's not Chinese.
Well, it's
I thought fortune
it's
cookies
imported
were all-
from Asia, I think.
Oh.
Okay.
Your Asia import. Right. Get it out of there.
Oh, it's like Christmas, so I can't wait to find out.
I hope the cookie has something better
You
for
have to
an,
snap it.
for an advice. Yeah, what are you doing?
How are you doing?
You-
What you did it? You
You're
did it
biting-
wrong.
you're
You did
biting
it all
it.
wrong.
Well,
You
I
have
don't
to
think
separate it
changed
in
it
two
didn't-
pieces.
Just Jesus.
Okay,
You
so there-
destroyed it.
There is a piece of paper in there. Well,
What does the
Jelle now
paper
is
say?
something fell on the floor. Okay, so what
All
does
right.
it say?
There's some Chinese characters, which are probably the translation. Fun, you
Or maybe
think.
it just says
on here
shit.
in German, Dutch, and English.
The German probably is written by your mother. But
Yes.
I'll do the English one.
yeah.
That would be
Today is
helpful.
a lucky day for those who remain cheerful and optimistic. That's very close to what Jose had written on his fortune cookie, actually.
Yeah, I don't actually remember. It's
I
something
guess-
with happiness and being lucky or
But
something.
what can we so what is this going what does this
I think
tell
this
us?
is the secret.
Can you say it again?
The mojo.
Today is a lucky day for those who remain cheerful and optimistic.
So
So you got to remain cheerful and optimistic,
All
and
the time.
today will be your lucky day. Only today, though.
only today. So basically, if you have any sad emotions today, you should suppress them because you're only going to be lucky if you're cheerful, right?
And optimistic.
Optimistic.
Just being cheerful is not enough. Just being optimistic.
All right.
You didn't sound very
just-
optimistic before when talking about what to do in life.
And I have to remain it. I shouldn't become it, so I should already be it.
Okay.
Well, maybe it's this doesn't apply to me then. However, the implication here is only one way, right? So today is a lucky day for those who remain cheerful and optimistic. So if you're
Oh.
cheerful and optimistic, then you will have a lucky day.
Oh, well, then I'm already having a lucky day because I'm also cheerful and optimistic and just fabulous.
And I just don't know anything about my day. It could be a lucky day,
Who knows,
could
right?
not be a lucky day.
Yeah.
Well, I guess your problems were not solved by that fortune cookie, huh? I guess we'll have to continue next time trying to find something other than games for
Find
you.
me a future.
Yeah, maybe we need more cookies.
I think we need a lot more cookies and maybe something else.
Maybe therapy? No, right? That's
Therapy,
I
I
think
think-
we can do better.
That's crazy.
We can do better, right?
I think therapy, yeah, that would help.
No, I think we can do better. Forget about it.
You think everyone needs therapy.
I think
right?
everyone needs therapy. That's true. Myself included.
It sounds to me like you feel that I'm just chugging along nicely. I just shouldn't play too many video games.
Yeah.
A little bit sometimes, and otherwise do some reading,
But
do some piano.
what does our opinion count? We don't know anything. It's how you feel inside. And you
Yes.
just said a second ago that you felt empty.
Exactly,
So
you
then I
said
think
that.
this cannot be solved.
After
with a few
I was
fortune
joking,
cookies.
okay? After playing the
Oh,
piano,
you were
I sometimes feel
joking.
fine.
Oh,
Fine.
all right. Well, I think
Okay.
that's a good positive note to end on.
Yes.
Welcome back to another episode of Ghost. So, as you know, we're going to be telling some ghost stories. And this time, I hope that they will actually feature ghosts, because that's been neglecting in our previous ghost stories. I don't know how that happened, but
I think it's always about ghosts.
I don't remember ever hearing us talk about a ghost. So I would really appreciate, guys, this time, guys, if we can,
I think most good ghost stories have implied ghosts, because as soon as the ghost actually appears, it's not as scary anymore, right?
Well, I want some very explicit ghosts. So, Jelle,
You're the boss.
would you like
Mhm.
to begin?
Yes. So my continued adventures of Thomas Milkson, the 15th century sailor, if you remember.
Oh, yes.
Vaguely.
Yeah, he's a pretty forgettable character. But when we last left our intrepid hero, he was on the gangplank of a ship, being raped in the darkness.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but we're doing away with all the rape now, because that's not what we want to talk about all the time on this podcast.
No, not more rape.
No, exactly. So fast forward, a couple of months, Thomas he got a job on this ship, as it was a ghost ship actually.
Ghost ship.
Was it?
Wow.
I never realized that that could be the case.
Yes, but it was
Whoa.
with a lot of ghosts, only ghost crew.
So only ghosts. And how do they
The
run the
crew?
ship?
The crew were...
How do they turn and do stuff on the ship? They are not physical, right? They are ghosts.
But they have
maybe,
physical powers as well.
What?
maybe the whole
Ghost
boat.
physical manifestation.
They are the boat
The
themselves?
boat. No, I mean the boat is also a ghost. That's
Oh,
why it doesn't exist.
boats can be ghosts?
Yes.
A bit like in
Wow.
SpongeBob,
Like dogs
like the,
or
the Flying
dogs
Dutchman.
are
furniture.
ghosts?
Furniture.
I could be sitting on a ghost? I'm sorry, Jelle. What was your story about?
Yes, guys. So, a couple of months passed, he was on the ghost ship, and they actually hired him to scare him.
Oh.
Because that ghosts need that, they feed off human fear.
Oh.
But
Like
Thomas
mosquitoes.
Milkson, no, they feed blood.
Oh.
Thomas Milkson was
Close
a
enough.
very, very brave man.
Mm.
So, he really quickly got used to the scariness of the ghosts.
Sorry to interrupt, but I remember that Thomas Milkson lost his kidneys, right?
That's
Yes,
right.
he did lose both of them.
Oh, and how is he still?
Alive.
Yeah.
He got a donation, a donated kidney from the barkeep.
Oh.
Did his pee change color or something? Did he notice something when he was peeing?
Yes, he did notice that.
More blood maybe in the pee?
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh.
For a few days. But that,
Poor Thomas Milkson.
that was all fixed up really quickly.
Okay.
Because 15th
Okay.
century medicine is a lot more advanced than we now think.
Interesting.
That makes sense.
Hmm. So, but the ghosts were not that satisfied with his services, because his pure role on the ship was to be scared by the ghosts. And
So
he
that's
soon
in the
lost
job
his fear.
interview. They asked him, "Hey,
There was no interview. He was
Oh.
just recruited onto the ship, and he could
sorry.
not say no.
why are you angry?
I'm not angry.
You sound angry."
I'm sorry. And but he was under contract, so they couldn't just throw him overboard or
On a
anything.
contract, then what did the job role say? He said that he was gonna,
The description. was
of the job.
Part-time
was
or
a-
full-time contract?
It was a full-time
How many
contract.
hours?
It was not written out in words with letters that you love so much, Julie. It was just a feeling. The contract.
Oh, such
Ah,
angry
feeling
words.
The contract. Okay. All right.
Yes. And the ghost felt that he was not doing a very good job at being scared. So after his contract ended, which was after 6 months,
He didn't got an extension.
including vacation days,
Oh, he didn't get he didn't do a good
he
job.
did not
then.
get an extension.
Okay.
Oh.
And they left him on an island.
Oh no, jobless on an island. What's he gonna do? How is he gonna support his family? He has a family, right?
The Milksons
Yeah.
with the nest at the end.
Yes,
Because there are many.
there are the Milksons, but
Yeah, he has like 100
the mother
kids, right?
the mother is mostly taking care of the family anyway with
Of the
prostitution.
100 children?
Another problem.
Yes.
Oh my god.
But that doesn't really matter because Thomas Milkson is far away from his family and he does not expect to ever see them again.
Okay.
When he washed up on that shore, where the ghost threw him overboard, he had to swim to the shore.
Yeah.
And now he's walking onto the island. So just after the beach, he walked into the forest.
Oh, there is a forest in the island.
Yes,
Wow.
it's kind of a jungle forest, and you hear all the screeching of tropical birds everywhere. And then he comes upon a village, and he walks straight to the hut of the witch doctor.
Oh, there is a witch
There's
doctor.
a witch doctor
in the
yes.
island.
And the witch
Oh.
doctor comes walking out of the hut.
Hello? What are you doing
oh,
in
this
my
voice-
village?
His
Hello.
voice sounds familiar to me, right? It's like the person with
Shut
the
up,
speech
Jose.
problems.
I don't know. I forgot Thomas Milkson's voice,
Hello?
but also all those time with the ghosts changed him.
Okay.
So, hello, I'm Thomas Milkson. I washed up here on the shore after spending time on a ghost ship.
All
you-
right then, Sonny.
Could you help me maybe? Because I need some drinking water and maybe some food to eat. It would be nice.
I
And
can
shelter.
help you, but
Shelter
it's
from the
going
snakes
to
and the toilet.
cost you.
All right then. I saved up quite a bit of money after working for half a year now.
I'm not interested in money. I want
You're
your
not making this sex
kidneys.
again, right?
No, I
Okay.
want your kidneys. Why?
Oh.
Keep playing along.
All right. Well, actually, a funny story. But both of my kidneys were taken by my former crew,
Oh.
and I just have one, which is already a xeno body. I got it from the barkeep.
That's not going to do at all. As you see, I'm a very old woman, and my pee has blood in it, and I need some young, strong kidneys. Otherwise, you have to leave.
But you're a figure of some status here in this village, right? So I see plenty of people walking around here, and there were a lot of
There were some children laughing.
just wild people walking around there, just wearing almost nothing, with no scars on their back, so you could clearly see they still have both of their kidneys. So I figure you could just take one of the kidneys from all those other people there. Surely there's a willing donor you could find. And I've seen the procedure, right? I was there on that table while I got my operation. So maybe I figure I could do the operation for you.
Well, good luck, Sonny, to Thomas Milkson. But all those children are all ghosts.
Again,
You've
it's all
stumbled upon a ghost village, and now we're going to get you.
no. And Thomas Milkson, he ran out of the village, just into the forest again, and with all the ghosts chasing him with ghost spears.
Karate chop!
And then they cut off his head right there, right in the gorge, in the dead end. And Thomas Milkson, he saw his life flash before him, and then he saw the world turning, and he saw his own body without a head on it, just falling onto the ground.
Wow.
Wow, that was a great continuation of Thomas Milkson.
And I assume that this is the end because I mean, if he gets out of that situation,
Well,
that
he could come back as a ghost, right?
Oh.
Or did I sing too much? Oh, that's a little teaser for you guys.
For next week. I hope you were all spooked by that. And let's go move on into the next ghost story.
So who wants to go next? Do you want to go on, Julie?
Okay. There were 3 of them. 3 people.
Ooh, it's like the trailer of Diablo 4, I think.
They were
By
3.
3 they come.
Oh.
3 people. And they were on a mission. And they weren't quite sure where they were going to start their mission. They were thinking, we need to go somewhere to find a mission. Because they weren't sure what the mission was either. And then they went somewhere into the world. And then they end.
Well, keep going. I think this
they
is
don't
great.
know. They don't know
right?
anything, right? These 3 people don't know anything.
But we know
No.
there are 3. I think every good story has questions that the audience still wants answered.
Did they know how to count? Like they know for sure that they are 3.
They know that there are 3.
Okay.
Yes. It was a mother and a daughter and the grandmother
On a mission.
on a mission.
3 generations of missionaries.
Yes. The 3 ladies of the Corona people.
The Corona people,
Corona
eh?
people.
That sounds
like
interesting.
Like a witch circle, right? The corona around the sun. And
Yeah, maybe this is like one of those post-apocalyptical scenarios,
yes, this
right?
is actually set in the future.
children of the apocalypse.
In the future, there are these mutations of people who are the Corona people, and they actually have some special powers because they are completely immune to Corona. And Corona, as you know, is going to take over the planet, and we are all going to die. So these people are very special.
Their power is what we call being vaccinated, right?
Well, I guess you could say something like that, but
Okay, but they're
this
on a
is
mission,
more special.
right?
They're on a mission,
And the
yes.
world is a wasteland
The
because
world,
of the societal collapse when everybody got Swiss corona.
exactly. And they are walking, and the tumbleweed is going through the desert. And the dust is flying off the ground. And everybody is in bare feet, and then they step on something. Oh, it's sharp. Oh, what's that? Ah, what was that? And then the grandmother, she falls over. And the granddaughter, she's like, no, Granny, why you fall over?
Did the grandmother step on the sharp thing?
The grandmother stepped on the sharp thing.
She fell on the sand, right?
She fell on the sand, yeah.
Which doesn't hurt that much.
Because it's kind of the desert where they're walking. Or is it a
Yes.
city with
They're
are
walking.
there buildings around?
It's a desert. It's a desert
Only
wasteland.
tumbleweed.
There's some skyscrapers in the background, deserted, of course, because this is Corona has taken over.
But the grandma needed some attention probably or something, right? Because
Oh, it's a ghost, Jose.
Yeah, the grandma actually didn't feel anything in her foot. She just, wanted people to pay attention to her because she's old and she has nothing else in her life.
okay. But she doesn't feel because she's just old and her nervous system is not working properly anymore, right?
So she doesn't feel emotions? Is that what you're saying?
No, also physical pain.
Because she's old.
Yes.
Is that what happens?
I don't know.
Oh, we
This
should
is her
ask her.
superpower, right? It's not only vaccination, but only the power not to feel pain,
Which is
even if something bad happens to your body.
which is quite bad, right? If you don't feel pain, right? Because
I would like to be notified if something bad happens to my body, but it should not be pain.
would you like to
I want to
receive
always be able to react rationally to it.
would you like to receive a notification in your phone when you are, for example, being
No,
stabbed?
it should be more direct into my brain.
Like someone telling you pain.
Well, I wouldn't want suffering, right? I would still want reflexes to, when I touch a hot stove, to immediately let go of it.
But not pain.
Exactly.
But
Well,
what?
let's go back to this story.
Okay. So the grandmother is, on the floor talking with the granddaughter, and the grandmother says, "I see you," and the granddaughter's kind of confused, like, "What do you mean you see me?"
She recovered the sight because she couldn't see.
She was blind
It was
before.
like an
She was blind. You
Like an
forgot to mention
avatar.
that little
No,
detail.
she was not blind. She was just saying, "I see you."
She
And,
put on her glasses.
I think this is like
You're
Avatar,
ruining
right?
the
Where they
ghost
go,
story.
I
Okay,
see
sorry,
you.
Sorry.
I see you. And it's really romantic.
Yeah, see you. And then there was a puddle of water, and the granddaughter's reflection was in there. but it was repeated multiple times, like it was,
The clone.
Like a Droste effect.
yes. And then in the distance, they could also see people walking towards them. And also from behind them, and from the right and left, were all these granddaughters, people who looked exactly like the granddaughter, walking towards.
She didn't know that she had so many granddaughters. I thought
But
it was,
what was the sharp bit? Just back it up a bit. What was the sharp thing that the grandmother tripped on?
It was a piece of mirror.
oh,
Was a
mirror.
glass
Makes
shard.
sense. Mirror copies of the person. Yeah, continue, please.
And then they all started walking towards the tree. And the mother had not said anything until this point because, well, the mother was not really part of the
It
tree.
was not really there.
She was not really related to the daughter or the grandmother.
She was not the mother. And
She
not,
was not the mother.
And who was she then?
She was
A ghost?
a cactus.
A cactus.
So there was not really, and they were
Oh.
just walking with the cactus
Makes sense,
between
right?
them because they needed something to keep them together.
I think they are
Mm.
because they didn't drink in a long time, so they are just
Exactly.
having visions, right? And they thought that the cactus was a person, but actually it was a cactus. Oh, that's interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
Scary.
yeah, cactus, huh?
Yeah, and then the cactus swayed, and the people, the granddaughters, kept walking towards them. And, eventually, there was nothing.
Nothing scares me as much as nothing.
I think that's the best story ever because it's like, as an ending, right?
Fade
There's
out.
nothing.
Darkness.
Yeah,
There's all the
Wow.
scary children
very
around.
deep. Yeah, the whole. Yeah,
We are children of the apocalypse. We are coming for you. Sister. We are your sister. Mommy. Mommy, why did you leave us in the desert?
cactus mommy, cactus mommy.
We cannot
Hug me,
get
cactus
corona.
mommy.
Yeah.
Hug me hard.
Oh. Well,
All right. Jose's story?
yes, let's move it along swiftly.
So there was this little girl
Little girl.
in the village.
Oh.
She loved to go for walks in the afternoon.
How nice
Yes.
for her.
Yeah. She was called Melanie.
Oh, Melanie.
And Melanie loved to go on a walk, and she loved to go to the lake very close to the village. She loved
Were
to
there
go
animals at the lake?
there. Well, maybe fish.
Oh,
Those are animals.
yeah, mammals.
Not exactly. Well, no, not exactly.
This is a
No?
definition question.
Is it
Fish
not a mammal?
and mammals are different species.
You're a mammal.
I'm a mammal. I'm not a fish.
Oh,
So, melanin.
melanin. That's a skin disease.
No, it's
You
her
said
name. Come on, don't be
No,
disrespectful.
her name was
Julie.
Melanie. He just said melanin.
I forgot. Well, Melanie has some skin issues. Okay, so that's why some people in the village.
Melanin or Melanie?
Melanie had some
Oh.
skin issues, so that's why some people in the village, just to mock her, they call her Melanin.
Oh, those kids can be so cruel.
Yeah, fucking kids. So Melanie, also aka Melanin, went to the lake one afternoon like any other day.
Oh, was she skipping to the lake?
And she was skipping, and when she arrived to the shore, she put her feet in the water like she used to do.
Is she skipping school as well?
No, the school was in the morning, and this was just in her afternoons. She had free afternoons. This was her, free
Her
time
free
activity.
time, nothing on her bad list going here.
Nothing. She was also not doing her homework, so she could do this. Anyway, so she was in the lake, and one day she just stepped on something. Oh, what is this? Oh, and her foot got kind of trapped in the sand underneath the water. She couldn't see properly what was it. Suddenly she felt like a force pulling her in the water.
Oh my god.
And she fight against, the water.
Is she screaming?
Water?
She was screaming.
What is it, a fish?
She couldn't know what's going on. It was just this force pulling her
It's magic.
in the water.
Was anyone coming to help her?
No one was there. She was
Why
alone
not?
by herself
Why
because
didn't they want to
that
help
was
her?
her me time.
Oh.
She was completely by her own, and she drowned, and she died.
Oh, fuck.
Just like that.
Wow.
And that's how simple a ghost story can be,
No, I
right?
didn't-
Someone goes somewhere
it's
and
not-
they
it's
die.
not over.
I
It's
didn't
not
finish.
over,
I
no.
didn't finish.
Oh.
What happened next is that every other day, people will go to the shore just to do some fishing. And then fishermen, when they were like, were fishing for 2 hours, sitting in their chairs. And then sometimes, because fishing can be boring sometimes, they will just stop and start falling asleep in their chairs. And then suddenly, when they will wake up, the ghost of Melanin will be in front of them, just pulling their
Oh, help
The-
me,
the
John,
rod.
help me.
the rod,
Oh,
pulling the rod, and
there's
it's
a
like,
big fish.
and then
But
Melanin.
they see the ghost, or she's in the water? She's under the water.
She's in the water. They could see her clearly that she was like wearing a white dress, like
my
all the
God,
ghosts.
that
They always
bitch.
wear a white dress, and she was pulling from the rod, and then she would pull them in the water, and
She's
and
strong.
yes, she was very strong girl, and then all of them they will drown, and after some years it will be an army.
and
of
they don't
fishermen.
all fit in the lake anymore.
Yeah, they're gonna take up all the space
There's
in the lake.
overpopulation.
And then there's gonna be a drought. There's not gonna be any water.
Well, they what happened is like there were so many ghosts of fishermen in the lake at the end that actually fish have to go somewhere else. So fish
Oh.
went to leave
Oh no.
to the village.
Poor fishy.
And
Was
then-
there a river as well out of the lake?
No, it was just one of these ponds with no access to
Okay,
water.
The fish went to the village.
Exactly, and they started normal businesses. Like there
Normal
was
fish business.
exactly
Small businesses,
There would be-
shoemakers, bakers.
exactly
They're
and-
very simple people.
exactly, and that's
Or maybe a high school teacher.
also that's the end of the story. So the village was just run by fish.
Wow.
That's how it ends.
That's so cool. I want to
Like a swap,
be in a
Right?
fish
the humans
village.
become the fish, take the fish role.
Mm-hmm.
And did the fish then also go? I mean, the story is over, of course, but just some questions.
Yeah, of course. I can answer all of them.
Questions from the audience.
Did the fish then also go to the lake and go fishing for ghosts there?
No, because they didn't want to repeat the same mistakes of humans, So they just started just
Recycling.
harvesting and just taking some planting food and all these things. So they just preferred to eat apples.
Not depleting the ozone layer,
Exactly.
those things.
These humans make so many mistakes. Yeah.
Wow. Well, it was a great trio of ghost stories, guys.
Yes.
I'm really excited for next week.
Yeah, shall we vote? Which one was the best ghost story?
Ooh, that's a good one. I vote for myself.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1. And then I pointed. I mean, no one can see here.
Oh yeah, Jelle
But
pointed at me.
I think Jose's ghost story was the best. And I can explain why.
Oh, okay.
Because I think it was, no offense to you, you also had an excellent story, Julie.
Mhm.
But I really
But it
loved,
wasn't the best.
I loved, exactly, but it's a hard competition with Jose because
Yeah,
the-
really? You think so?
it was a ghost story, kind of a happy ghost story. And you don't hear those a lot. Mostly ghost stories are just scary and they have a sad or
As a
spooky
ghost
ending.
story should be, right?
And this was a ghost story, which it was a feel-good ghost story.
I wanted to teach you something, guys. That and I thought that this maybe is my only chance during the week of teaching something to you guys and also to the people that they are listening to.
Oh,
that
wow.
are
You have
listening.
so much wisdom.
I know,
and
right?
That was without his hat. So stay tuned for next
Amazing.
time when Jose finds his hat.
Wisdom hat
Yes.
to give good advice.
Yeah, so talking about hats, Julie, do you still have all your kidneys? I think there was reason to believe.
All
you don't.
her kidneys. I think I do.
How do you know that?
My pee is normal.
But did you try to drink a lot to see what is their capacity
No.
of
Do
filtering?
you think I should try that now? If I drink...
Not
you
right
know?
now, but maybe later.
Okay. I'll drink like 10 liters of water.
Yeah.
And then,
And you will see if there is any complication in your body.
yeah. And then maybe I die from water poisoning. But
Okay. So I guess we have to keep the mystery of whether Julie has all her kidneys.
Or other organs, right? Do you have all your other organs, or did you get some of them removed?
All your organs.
I have all my organs.
Okay, but if you had to choose one that had to go, what would it be?
Can I choose one of yours?
No, it has to be one of your own.
The
Okay.
brain.
The brain.
I mean, it's
I
not
think
that,
that would be that's
it's not that
the most redundant,
Funny.
exactly right.
most rudimentary organ that you have.
We'll just do one of these useless ones like the appendix or whatever. I don't know. Screw you guys. Yeah. Down here at the bar, waiting on you to show up and take me away. That's what you promised.
I'm sitting here by the window, seeing that girl there all alone being stood up, but I can't muster the courage to walk up to her.
And then I head out down the street. I look up at the window and I see that guy being a creep on me. Hey buddy, why don't you come down here and do something about it? And I'm standing here being stood up.
Did she just see me there? I was just in the bar and now I'm at home again, behind my window looking down. But she was there, I think she just looked up to me, and I pulled the curtains closed.
And now I'm ringing the doorbell, and now I'm kicking down the door, and now I'm running upstairs to your apartment, and now I'm kicking down another door, and now I'm throwing the cocktail in your face, you motherfucker. What the fuck do you think you're doing?
I'm sorry,
Why do you
I
think you can
didn't
treat me
mean-
this way?
didn't
I'm
mean
not
to
gonna
creep
stand
on
for
you.
this bullshit. You're a piece of shit, piece
Well,
of
then
shit.
call the police.
I don't need any more piece
Nothing
of shit.
that I'm doing is illegal. It's not illegal.
You're not gonna take it anymore.
I'm within my rights here.
If you liked it, don't forget to follow our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever fucking platform you use. You can also send your agony to bangangerspodcast@gmail.com and you'll get the worst advice ever. And if you think you're a good person, you can prove it by becoming a patron, because it would be nice to eat at least once a month.